I have a question for you. What do you want to see the most after a long working day? Yeah, probably could go and hug your lover, right? But if you are as single as I am, don't be sad. We can cuddle our pets instead. I recommend you should adopt a dog. Cats are great, but sometimes they can be mean. Dogs? They are pure angels. They always make you feel like a celebrity with your only fan. Even when you have the worst time ever, or the whole world is against you, your dog will always be there, protecting you from any negative moods. My name is Maeve, and this is Hopper, my living love generator. I know we all have a busy time at work for our living, and sometimes it drives us crazy stress that we need to find a way to shake off those negative feelings. So, I decided to have a pet to recharge my joy when I came home. Later, I found a shelter where injured dogs and other animals were looking for a home to be loved. And that was when I saw Hopper with his cute profile picture. I knew I had to take this dog home right away. He needed me as much as I needed him. We would be perfect for each other. Taking care of pet requires a lot of responsibilities. You need to make sure that you can afford both materials and healthcare for your pet before bringing one home. Food, toys, bed, and some other services like health checks may be out of your expected budget, not to mention your timetable can be busier than usual. But hey, some love is worth the sacrifice, yeah? There will be no risk in a relationship with a dog, no cheating or argument. It's super healthy. When the idea of adopting Hopper reached my mind, I was nervous, thinking, can I give him a happy life? Will the dog feel comfortable with me? And many worries started to fill up my mind. That was why I set up everything in my house and planned on saving money to welcome Hopper. It took me 3 hours of driving to go to the shelter. As soon as I came to the place, I felt emotionally attacked by how poor those creatures were. It was like watching sad videos on the dodo. As I noticed, none of the dogs had a healthy, normal body. Some lost one of their legs, some couldn't see, and there was one who only had her body. I couldn't do anything more than praying for them to get adopted and live happily for the rest of their miserable life. The rescue staff led me to the end of the room, where Hopper sat inside his cage and became very excited when he saw me. Hopper looked bigger and cuter than his profile picture. He didn't have front legs. He used to have them, but it was painful to talk about his background. As soon as the staff opened the kennel, Hopper jumped at me. He wanted me to hug him, and I did. Yes, the dog would definitely go home with me. After finishing the paperwork, I scooped Hopper into my car. I assured my baby that I would give him a brand new chapter, his happy ending forever. It was such a beautiful moment to see Hopper put his head on the window car, to feel the wind rush through his face on the way home. He hadn't been able to do that for years. Thought our life would go as I planned, but it didn't. Even though I had prepared for Hopper to move in, a bunch of problems started to show up unexpectedly. I remembered when Hopper jumped around my house to discover his new place, and everything was so fun. Until he peed everywhere, and the smell choked me dead. Yes, that was how a crisis named Hopper began. I had to live in a house full of Hopper's bioformula for 3 days till the smell faded away. As I noticed, Hopper couldn't defecate and urinate in a normal way. Without his front legs, he couldn't balance his body, and if I let him do his thing by himself, I would get a massive, terrible consequence. So yeah, I had to figure out a solution. And then, the idea of buying diapers for Hopper came to me. Can you believe that I went to the mall and bought an adult diaper sack instead of the one for pets? It was so embarrassing. I couldn't stop feeling like all eyes were on me. And it was not even the worst part. Changing Hopper's diaper every day made me realize that I would love to wait longer before becoming a mother. However, I brought Hopper to my home, so I had to be responsible for him. Later, I was proud to say I successfully went through the first Hopper crisis, but the list of trouble was still pretty long. When you are not living alone, you have to share the space and time with your partner, and honestly, I hadn't thought about it seriously before. Since then, Hopper might have had PTSD, because when the sky turned dark, my poor baby started to panic insanely. He didn't like to stay in any places without the light. Otherwise, Hopper would react violently. When I found out about his problem, I had no idea how to help him, but kept the light on all day to make Hopper feel comfortable. It couldn't be the long-term solution for the electric bill, which I couldn't afford more than usual with my salary. The actual money for raising Hopper was much more than I expected before. I was not sure that I could pay for a pet therapist to heal Hopper. After a few days of feeling concerned, I decided to do what was best for my dog. I invited an expert to come and help Hopper, no matter how much it cost. I had to spend my money very carefully. It was a hard time for both of us. A month of therapizing passed by, and I could see Hopper became a bit better. But it wasn't enough. He didn't turn aggressive when the light was off. Nonetheless, he had to be close to me even when I was in the bathroom. I had to accept that my poor baby could never get away from his nightmare. There was nothing I could do to remove that trauma from Hopper. Everything will get better day by day. I just know that. I want you to know that adoption is a great thing to do for some disabled animals, but don't be too rushy about that. Not only do you have to be patient and careful about their health, but you also have to deal with their mental problems. We all know it's a long process with a lot of effort to be a good owner, and I hope you guys will be one. Trust me, the prize Hopper gives me every day is worth the love I gave him. So, if you are about to adopt one like Hopper, make sure you have everything you need to welcome them. Give them love, and they will do the same to you.